Holy heck. It is a very crazy day right now. I mean, people are completely losing their mind because we have some of the first very big leaks about Grand Theft Auto 6, and some people seem to be a bit miffed about the fact that apparently it's going to have a female main character. We now know the city, we now know the scope. It sounds like this game is going to be big, and we need to dig into it. Hello gamers, what's up? There's going to be at least 2 videos today, so I got my big gigantic Red Bull because we have a lot to discuss when it comes to gaming in general. First and foremost, hello, I'm DreamcastGuy. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So what we're going to be taking a look at today is this itemized breakdown of a report that just appeared over on Bloomberg. Now, the actual article itself is published by Jason Schreier, definitely the most notorious and famous leaker of all time. Now, a lot of this article, in my opinion, is not really needed. It's a lot about the history of Rockstar. There's a lot of freaking fluff in this, lots about how games are made. Because I am just a very dumb gamer, I'm curious about the game itself. Now, first and foremost, the biggest detail that seems to be the most heavily discussed is the fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to have 2 playable main characters right now, which is a Latina, and honestly, this sounds really cool to me. They're influenced by Bonnie and Clyde. Now, honestly, that sounds incredibly cool. Bonnie and Clyde is such a weird case in general. There were like these 2 robbers way back in the day. They were driving around like Model T cars, and they were actually pretty low tier criminals. Like they killed a couple people, they robbed a couple people, but the media really pumped it up to make it seem like they were these masterminds killing 20 people a day and stuff. And the police in America were so worried about the panic that was being caused by the media, they ended up killing the heck out of Bonnie and Clyde. They shot them so full of bullets that now their car is like a famous landmark. I wonder if they're going to go that angle with like the idea of like maybe we're going to be playing as like 2 low tier criminals who are trying to build their criminal empire, and yet everybody sort of thinks they're bigger and better than they actually are. This already super grabs my attention, but there is a line in this that people seem to be sort of also a bit miffed about. So I'm seeing a lot of not my GTA, a lot of people saying that because it has a female protagonist, it's bad. There is also this line inside the article that says they're being cautious not to punch down and by making jokes about marginalized groups. So they're not going to make, really crappy borderline racist jokes or anything. Honestly, to me, I guess the reason I'm not worried about this, there's a lot of replies saying, I can't believe that they've gone woke. This is ridiculous. Oh, no. I guess everyone's still kind of agreeing the fact that the game is going to be very good. Personally, I'm not concerned about the female protagonist or the less crazy jokes, because to me, I very rarely remember the humor inside Grand Theft Auto. Like when I think about Grand Theft Auto, I think about flying around in jets or Italian gangsters like they had in Grand Theft Auto 3 or big old flashy neon streets from Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I guess to me, I don't remember the crazy torture scene they put in Grand Theft Auto 5, which apparently was like a political statement against the fact that Americans torture a lot of people illegally. I don't know, whatever. But anyways, going back to the actual bullet points here. So here's the stuff that really has my brain cooking the most. So inside of Grand Theft Auto 6, the working title is called Project Americas, which already, this signifies that this game is going to be thick. This game is going to be very big. Like maybe the biggest game of all time. Like so big it takes up your entire hard drive and you can't play anything else. The main location is a fictional version of Miami and its surrounding areas, so sweet, the most beautiful tropical part of Florida, arguably one of the most visually appealing natural landmarks in all of America in general. The game will evolve over time, adding in new cities. This is what I have wanted for so freaking long. Like, kind of what annoys me sometimes about these games that do big patch updates is sometimes I want to go someplace new. Imagine if they end up putting an airport in the game and we can actually visit Liberty City from Grand Theft Auto 3 or jump on a plane and go to Los Santos or something. This seems so freaking awesome. Now, we'll see how big these additional cities are. We don't know if these cities are just going to be more points on the map, maybe just adding in new areas or new neighborhoods of the existing Miami, but I guess we'll find out. The game world is already large and has more interior locations than any previous GTA games. Yes, this specifically has actually been a huge fan request by people for the last couple years because Grand Theft Auto 5, very big game, very detailed game, lots of great controls, great aiming, great combat, but the biggest problem is that at times, Grand Theft Auto 5's online mode almost feels like a diorama. There's all these big buildings that you can't go into. Even though we're crazy criminals, it's not like I can force my entry into an apartment. There are these designated tiny locations that you are allowed to visit, which at times becomes frustrating because it's like, I want to see this world. I want to see the random events that are happening inside it. The idea that we'll now be able to perhaps walk into hundreds and hundreds of buildings seems like it'll add that immersion, making it so that when I walk into a gum shop, I'm not like seeing a cutscene. I want to see like the old Grand Theft Autos where you walk into a building and actually buy stuff. I don't know. This seems incredibly, incredibly cool. But when is it coming out? I've heard a lot of rumors and stuff. There's been some other leaks that do seem real. It does seem like this is set to be revealed early next year and maybe released at the very end of 2024-ish, and then maybe like early 2025. Honestly, since it is already halfway through 2022, that's a lot closer than I actually personally imagined. And part of it sounds like the way they're getting this done so fast is they've managed to finally restructure the company of Rockstar so everybody is able to help each other out. Now that the producers are actually reducing overtime, more people are able to actually work together. Look at this. This seems great. Honestly, removal of abusive employees, new mental health. Now, this may all just be puff talk of we promise we removed all the horrible, scummy people. But you know what? I'm optimistic. I'm hopeful. And I feel weird saying this, but I am extremely excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. At times, it's almost baffling that I've lived long enough to see Grand Theft Auto 6. I used to play Grand Theft Auto 1 and Grand Theft Auto 2 way back in the day, and like that seemed so cutting edge. Here we are, decades later, I'm sipping my Red Bull on a green screen talking to hundreds of thousands of people, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is now in development. This is kind of awesome. I'm actually really, really happy with this. But what do you think? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. I've been waiting to drink this the whole video. I've been waiting to take a sip. Oh God, yeah, gaming. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.